let's state clearly, our next story, let's state clearly that in a democracy, it is the right of citizens to protest. It is a symptom of underlying discontent with the prevailing status quo. That's why people tend to, take to the street. The trouble, though, is when protests seek to alleviate these discontents rather than tackle the fundamental causes of them. Recall that the End Bad Governance protest, widely known as the hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria, were a series of decentralized mass protests in our country. It was supposed to hold between the 1st and 10th of August, if you haven't forgotten. Some things went wrong, many arrests were made, and therefore the federal government will, on November the 1st, arraign 76 of the arrested protesters before Justice Obiora Egwuatu of the Federal High Court, Abuja. We would report what happens next. Okay. The 76 people will be arraigned on November 1st.
Well, I think Nigerians have the right to protest.
We have
it's enshrined in the fundamental rights of Nigerians. And I think that even the democracy we're having today came as a product of protest. The current president were both on the streets during June 12th.
Okay.
He was with us, rallies, demonstrations.
June 12th and the days after.
And the days after. In fact, years after.
Years after.
In exile so they have the right to protest. But that does not mean that that right is absolute. I'm happy that at least they are taking them to court. Because under the military rule, that people are saying military rule, people were shot. There was a day in this Lagos who were protesting. No fewer than 30 people were shot. I was in that protest. 30 people on the street. Some bodies were dumped in the ocean. But now we are talking about people being taken to court, unlike what we have had in the past.
Yeah.
The court gives you an opportunity to state your case. You may have been arrested wrongly. Probably you are just walking and then you just say, oh, you look ragtag, then pick him. And I believe there is an opportunity for the protesters to establish the grounds of their protest and also to prove their innocence. So I think it's a very good thing that the government is going to court instead of shooting people on the street. The other thing that I look at the names, most of them are very young people. 14, in fact, some are minors. And I think that should give us a lot of concern.
Yeah.
That if 14 years old, 15 years old are going on the streets, it may be a reflection of some level of frustration. It may also be a level of some, that some people are being sponsored by innocent people who are not even aware of the reason for their protest. Why I'm saying this is because the idea of the Russian flag has raised a lot of issues. The people that I saw that were arrested 17 years, 14 years, so I think even if they see Russian flag, they may not be able to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
They even know the
And apart from that,
they see Nigerian flag. Would
they even know?
To differentiate
They know. Then to produce one Russian flag, I think you need about 5,000 naira, the one that they used. A poor man on the street will not have 5,000 naira. The next thing is that we go and do Russian flag that he wants to go and protest. So, and I think even coming with the idea of Russia is a product of rogue intelligence. So people are behind it. If Russia was behind it, Russia will not go and use its flag now. That would be embarrassing to Russia itself. So some people are trying to instigate Nigeria against Russia and to invoke what has happened in Mali, in Chad and Burkina Faso, which are different circumstances. Nigeria is not Chad, Nigeria is not Niger, Nigeria is not Mali.
Yeah.
So you cannot be talking about
Burkina Faso.
Yeah, or Burkina Faso. So I think Russia is not involved in that at all. So people are just trying to, and I think it was an organized plan for people to design Russian flag. They wanted to send a message, a wrong message to Nigerians that, oh, this government the alternative instead of waiting for your turn in the next 4 years. So I think that the government needs to go beyond appearances and go to the substance. Mere parading these people, they are just pawns in the political chess game.
Yeah.
There are people behind this thing that are the sponsors of this kind of protest.
The big masquerade.
The big masquerade behind this scene.
Doctor, according to Thomas Paine, one of the founding fathers of America, these are times that try men's souls.
Yeah, indeed. Because over time, what we have seen is that we have come from the era of protests that are intelligence-driven.
Streamlined.
People who are people who even know what they want to achieve.
Okay.
To the era where people protest because they have been offered some money to do so. They don't even know, like you said, what the protest is all about. Because if you have a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old joining the protest, if you ask that person,
What do you want?
What the protest is all about. So the protest we had then in those years that led to this democracy, quite different. And there are so many of them we can cite, including the ones that happened during the regime of former President Goodluck Jonathan, where Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was involved, Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari was involved, and so many other people. Professor Wole Soyinka was involved. Quite different. You could see that these people knew what they wanted. They wrote the police. We are going to leave GRA and march through this route, and we get to the park in Ojota. Once we get to the park in Ojota, we address the people.
We encamp there.
We address the people,
yeah,
and we disperse from there. Any other person you see on the street is not a part of us. And after they left, indeed, there were people who were arrested, who caused mayhem in Lagos. And that is why I said there's a real huge difference. And which is why I agree with him that our intelligence agencies must get to the root of this. It's not just about arresting 76 people and parading them in court. The court will either grant them bail or ask that they should be put in a correctional center, which puts more pressure again on the finances of the federal government because they must feed them, they must clothe them. So we need to really get to the root of this problem instead of just arresting people for the sake of it. Now they have been keeping them for how long?
Yeah, and feeding them.
Feeding them and occupying spaces that could be used for better things.
Okay.
It's not so, it's not so gratifying that we go this route all of the time. What have you been able to elicit from these people? You will find out that they don't even know those who organize the protest. Yeah. They don't. So you are holding the wrong people instead of going to the root to find out what has happened.
The architects, the arrowhead.
Those are the people we need to know. Because we know that in this country, there is no way money will
at the
move.
footage. You look at the picture. In the footage, you are seeing children.
Look at that boy. It can't be more than 10. Look at the one behind him. It can't be more than 6 or 7. Look at them.
And anything can happen.
Anything. Even the adults who put these children on the road, they are wicked. They are wicked. When you know what you want, you go for it in a peaceful manner. You can sit in your house to protest.
So the date is November 1st.
Yeah.
The Federal High Court, Abuja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be rest assured, journalist hangout will keep a tab on that story and report back. Okay then.